Katie Davis, and I'm here to share with you some of our nonfiction books from Usborne Books and More. And the first one I want to share with you is one of my favorites. It is called Usborne World of Animals, and I think this book would be perfect from anyone toddler aged all the way through adults in your family. I love this one. I think it's super fascinating, and I'd like to show you why. So this book is just packed full of beautiful, real photographs of animals from all over the world. And some of them are going to be animals that you already know about, and some are going to be animals that you have never even seen before. And besides the photographs, it's also just packed full of super interesting facts and information. There are really awesome maps inside to show you where these different animals are located all over the world. And then the other cool thing about this book is that there are internet links in here. So it's internet referenced. So your kids or yourself can get on the internet and you can go to an Usborne site where you're able to look up more information about the different animals in this book. And we have pretty strong safety guidelines, so it's a pretty safe place for your kids to go, but always make sure that you are supervising them while they're on the internet. But yeah, so it takes you all over the world, jungles, deserts, just to all different kinds of places where you can check out just many different kinds of animals. And there were animals in here that my husband and I had never ever heard of. Like if there's a giraffe beetle, you should check that one out. It's pretty crazy looking. So I love this book. I think it is a must-have nonfiction for everyone's homes. I think it'd be just a great resource for kids to have for school projects or just for learning information about just things that pop into their heads. So the Usborne World of Animals. The next one I want to show you is from our Lift the Flap First Questions and Answers. And this one is great for preschool age through early elementary. And this is one of our brand new titles, and this is What Makes It Rain. And so you go inside, it has a bunch of different questions starting off with rain. And then to answer the questions, you lift the flap. So over here it says, how does water get into the sky? On warm days, water in puddles, lakes, and seas heats up and drifts into the sky above. This is called evaporation. And then as you go on, you'll learn about rainbows. You'll learn about the sun. It also has some really cool finger trails, thunder and lightning. You're going to learn about wind and tornadoes. And then it ends with learning about snow. So this one is how do snowflakes get their shapes? They start as an ice crystal with 6 sides. The crystal grows 6 arms. Then other crystals join and make amazing shapes. So just some really cool information for your younger children, just about different kinds of weather and things that are happening in the sky. So this one's beautiful, has great illustrations, and I love this one. Another one we have is one of our My Very First books, and this is My Very First Space book. And this one is mostly illustrations, and it starts to tell you just about space and shows you some really cool pictures of the solar system. And the cool thing about this one is there's also some real photographs in here. So you have a real photograph of the moon. And one of my favorite pages is over here where it teaches you about astronauts, and it shows you all the different parts of an astronaut's spacesuit. And then there are also pages that show you just the different planets and specific things about those. And then also like another picture, a good photograph of the sun. Some just some really neat information just about space and being an astronaut and the solar system. So that's My Very First Space book. And we also have My Very First Dinosaur book. So those are some of those that we have. We also have a beginner's collection that is more geared towards probably 6 years old and up, the elementary students. This one is Bees and Wasps. So there are tons of different topics, and these are great books because they are also filled with just gorgeous photographs of whatever animal that you're learning about. Just really neat pictures of bees on their hive, coming out of eggs, with just all kinds of fascinating information that's written in a way that elementary students are going to understand. So, you know, for some of these kids will be on their grade level, they can read it themselves. And for those who are not, it'd just be a great book to read with your children, to also include nonfiction in your house. Just, yeah, some really cool pictures of a bee, and you can see its stinger. So these ones are great. The Beginner's Collection. Another book I would like to show you is one of our first encyclopedias. So this is Seas and Oceans, and this one is also internet linked. So as you go through, there will be a mixture of pictures and illustrations, but then up here you have the box where it tells you where to go on the internet, and then it tells you the keywords to put in. So first, seas. and then that's where you can find the information. So kind of like the animals book, this has tons of facts and information, but this one is all about the sea animals and the oceans. And so this one is just really cute and cool and filled with beautiful, beautiful pictures of fish and sharks, whales, rays, just all kinds of really cool sea creatures. Walruses. So that is one of our first encyclopedias. We also have a set of encyclopedias for your older students, middle schoolers, high schoolers. We have a really cool one, the Encyclopedia of Ancient History. I do not have it. I'd love to show it to you, but you should check it out online for sure if you have older students who need some resources as well. There's several different encyclopedias for the older students. The last nonfiction I'm going to show you right now would be for our older students, probably later elementary to middle school. This is one of our See Inside books, and this is See Inside Great Cities. And this one's really fun because as you go through each page spread, you start traveling through different cities. So you start in Sydney, you travel to London, New York City, you travel to Venice. And I've actually been to Venice, and I was reading this one just the other night, and I was learning information that I never knew about Venice. So one of the things I learned was about the gondola. So it has some See Inside flaps, so you flip it up, and it tells you 6 metal notches on gondolas represent the districts of Venice. Had no idea. So some really cool just looks inside of different cities around the world. So we have several different See Inside books for the older students, and these ones are all illustrated, but really cool, intricate illustrations of just structures and different buildings in these different cities. So that is one of our other nonfictions. We have many, many nonfiction books. If you need any recommendations, just let me know, and I would be glad to help you.